What is a psychological trick you know to really frick with someone? When disagreeing with someone, try replacing but with and. It is remarkably disconcerting when the person you are arguing with stops arguing with you and you don't realize it. At work, when a client wants something I can't accommodate, I agree with them then restate what I just said. Works wonders. My boss handles stress terribly, so in one-on-ones, he tends to snap and spend the hour complaining about people. Sometimes people end up getting chewed out or yelled at in a meeting that's supposed to be about their development. When I first began in my department, he noticed me putting on perfume and said his wife wears the same one. It's not anything fancy, just one that's widely known. Every time I go into my one-on-one with him, I apply the perfume right before. He generally speaks very softly to me and doesn't snap at me like he does with others, and I'm pretty sure it's because he smells me and thinks of his wife. Fricked up that it takes that to get a manager to treat you humanely, but it works. He knows the smell of fear. One time back in high school while working at a pizza place, we put a blanket on one of the manager's cars with a note under the windshield wiper that said, "Here's so you can sleep with the fishies." That was over 20 years ago. He still sometimes brings up the mistaken mafia death threat to this day. Offer somebody gum but don't take a piece for yourself. Look at the pack, flip it over, and say okay as you put it back into your pocket. Immediately after they look at the time, ask them if they know what time it is. Chances are, they will have to look at the time again. Heck, I do this to myself all the time. Easiest way I know is when walking into an elevator. Don't turn around and look at the door. Just stare at the wall in front of you after you hit your button. People get freaked out so easily BC you aren't doing what normal people always do and it messes with their head trying to figure out what you are doing it for. If you've been in a space in close proximity to a stranger, elevator, library, etc., and neither of you have acknowledged each other or spoken, when you go to leave say it was nice to meet you, then walk away. Usually I get a you two back really quickly. Don't worry, you can hardly notice it. If you're eating with them, ask them a question as soon as they take a bite of food. Point out something that someone does all the time. One of my co-workers would leave the office at the end of the day and forget his headphones. So he'd leave the office and have to run in a game to grab them. I told him I noticed he always forgot his headphones, and now he's self-conscious about it and never forgets them anymore. That actually seems more helpful and frickful. It's not really psychological, but let's say someone is 25 or 30 feet behind me while we're both walking down a hallway. There's a 90-degree corner coming up. I round the corner then run really quietly so I'm really far ahead of the person behind me. Then I walk my normal speed again. When they round the corner, they are surprised to see how far away I am now compared to how normal I was walking. Adding real quick to the end of the request adds a sense of urgency that compels people to do whatever you tell them. Example, Dari, give me your wallet real quick. And before you know it, Dari hands you his wallet. For me is also powerful when asking someone to do something. People like to think they are doing a favor for someone as opposed to just performing an action after being ordered. Stare at their forehead while they are talking. It really freaks people out. Jim was onto something. Generally anywhere that isn't their eyes but forehead works best. My friends always stare at my boobs when we're talking and it drives me insane. Tell someone you want to play rock paper scissors. As you're both getting ready to count down, compliment their shirt or something to throw them off and start counting down. Then, you pick rock. When you interrupt someone's concentration during the game, they automatically go to the most recent thing in their head, which will be scissors, rock, paper, scissors. It works every time until they realize you're fricking with them. To make it even more effective, compliment their scissors. It's been proven that people will stand in a long queue, even if they have no idea what it is for. People do it all the time at festivals and things. Start a queue with your friends in front of a trash bin or something innocuous. Then everyone just casually walks away after a load of people not in on the joke join the end of the queue. Alternatively, stare up at the sky like you're watching something fascinating up there. Accumulate a crowd, shrug and leave. Silence. It's a very effective interview technique, because as humans we are conditioned to break silences in conversations. I will be dead silent if I am not a host of the conversation. Look distractedly at their nose or some part of their face, then scratch or rub the corresponding part on your own face. They'll supposedly get confused and think they have something on them. This was from the book Mind Control, The Ancient Art of Psychological Warfare by the dubiously named Ha Lung. My emotionally unstable brother bought this book and I had to see what the heck he was actually reading. The author sounds like a nutcase through his writing. His real name is Ashida Kim. No, actually that's fake too. Radford Davis. He is a self-trained wannabe ninja who sells fake certifications and posts dubious info on martial arts and secret ninja techniques from his trailer in Florida. If somebody is talking giving you no chance to say what you want to say, drop something very loud on the floor then begin to talk. I just imagined myself at someone's house dropping an antique vase or something just to get my voice heard like some kind of lunatic and think that would be hilarious. When you are talking to someone, if you interrupt them and say walk with me in a busy tone and start walking away, they will walk with you and continue the conversation without hesitation. You can lead them wherever you want really. When you get into an elevator with other people, don't turn around to face the doors. It's a common practice in my country and people just stand there being uncomfortable. I hate it. When talking to them, stare at their nose, and when they ask why you're staring at their nose, tell them that you aren't. Ugh, I never know where to look when I'm talking to people. Everything feels weird. I forget the exact study, but basically in an office setting you can tell anyone anything, and as long as it's on an official memo, anywhere between 60-80% will comply. I think in the study they had it as take this memo to an isolated room, and most people just did it. Wild stuff. There has been a rise in employees receiving emails from their boss telling them to go buy gift cards for Christmas presents or whatever, then to email the codes to the boss so they can hand them out for Christmas. Nigerian princes must be reading the same studies as you. You can classically condition someone to associate two things pretty easily. Say a particular phrase whenever a certain song comes on and eventually they'll associate the two, and always remember that phrase whenever they hear the song. If you're close-courted with someone, you can intentionally choose one word out of the lexicon to mispronounce. Swear up and down that your way is the correct way, and the correct way is actually the wrong but popular version. After months of intentionally mispronouncing the word shrimp, my mother now says scrimp. It's been 2 years and I can't undo this. Help. That's wild. My father says Walmart instead of Walmart. I tried correcting him 100 times and obviously say Walmart myself, but he was always like oh okay, Walmart, and never changed how he says it. If you want to really mess with someone, go up to them and ask them, hey, do you ever get that creepy deja vu feeling? Then like a week later wear the same thing and ask them the same question. I've done this to so many people and their reactions are hilarious. I think I might start pranking my students with this. Mwahaha. When meeting someone for the first time, say oh hello again and shake their hand. Even if they go for like a high five, transfer it into a handshake. They will not ask for your name or any information, they will just think that you definitely know them from somewhere and they just forgot. If you want something from someone, like a favor, but you don't think they'll help, ask for more than what you want, knowing they'll say no. Then ask for what you really want. They will be more inclined to help with the lesser favor. I worked with a friend who kept a 12-pack of Mountain Dew under his desk. For a while I'd sneak extra cans back into the box. Not a lot, and just enough that he was sure he drank more than the box would hold. He knows. Free drinks. I had a friend that would casually eat a slice of American cheese while taking orders at a particularly rude table. Not say anything other than normally asking what they wanted to eat. Bite of cheese. It would immediately make the guy trying to impress his date by being awful to the server totally docile because it was so awkward. My favorite is the slight lean and making a face like you're farting. I only use it to frick with people. I don't actually fart. It'll derail any conversation. Pro tip. Actually fart, then make a worried face. Call them something they are wearing by choice. Whatever you say. Turtleneck. Sure thing. Pink shorts. Yeah, that'll work. Dong ring. What are you having? Mustache. Take a fake homework to school and ask them if they had done it. Yes. With zero context. Ask someone who did they tell you that to then just watch as pure confusion washes over their face. The sentence means literally nothing and it is fantastic. This was bad to read while high. Nursery rhymes. Hum a few bars, stop, then start a few bars later and repeat. If you pick one person and one song for that person, it can be quite annoying, especially done over a few days or weeks. Had a group of engineer overseers, 3 of them to be exact, that I would always use 3 blind mice every time they got close. Took them about 4 months to finally say please stop. Freaking jingle bells. A coworker knew I hated Christmas music and would hum it just to irritate me. It got to the point he would tap out the rhythm with his hammer and whatever we were working on and would watch me get red with anger each and every time because it sticks in my head for days. While in a conversation with someone, just smoothly hand something over. They will automatically take it, and vice versa. If you take something from their hand, they will automatically hand it over. Hand them trash in a conversation. Usually, if you reach out with something, the other person will take it, and if they're busy talking to you, they won't pay attention to what you're handing them. I do it sometimes for fun, and the expression I get when they finally look down and realize I just handed them my trash to take care of is great. Yes, I've had this done to me. It fully works effortlessly, but I think that's kinda the point. You just have to confidently pass them the trash like it's theirs. Especially in my teenage years, it freaked people out to not react angrily to their tries of bullying insulting you. At some point I even agreed with them on certain topics. That got them extremely confused. Say have a good day and then follow it with something applicable only to them. Then watch them say thanks you too, only to realize what they said doesn't make sense. I do this with Uber Eats drivers all the time. Have a great day, drive safe, thanks. You too. Wait. I like to be on the other side of that. I'll say thanks you too purposefully in situations like that. Most commonly at the movies when the ticket checker tells me to enjoy the movie. Not really how to frick with someone, but if you're sitting on a bus or train and don't want someone sitting next to you, don't put your bag on the seat. Someone will ask you to move it so that they can sit down. Instead, as someone walks by, pat the empty seat whilst making direct eye contact with them and smiling. Works 9/10 times, but the one time it doesn't work, good luck. Doesn't work if you're attractive. If you have access to their computer, take a screenshot of their desktop and set that screenshot as their new desktop image. Then hide all the icons in a folder. They'll go nuts trying to click the images, but they're just part of the wallpaper. Bonus. Flip the image upside down before setting it to their wallpaper, then set the display orientation to flipped. They'll be convinced their mouse is balked. Another is to set up a script that does something unexpected, like shut down their computer, and replace an often used desktop shortcuts target to point to it. They click payroll XLS spreadsheet icon. Their computer shuts down. I always say thank you in a different language each time I get off the bus. Nice try, duo. I can make my pupils really big on command. It's some weird thing. So I'll be having a conversation both looking at each other, and slowly I'll begin to increase the size of my pupils until it's at the max, and the person I'm speaking to will kinda stop the conversation and be all like WTF. The reason people do that is because you look like you're on drugs. Kind of psychological. Pin a spread out banknote to a dartboard over the bullseye. Tell someone if they hit it 3 times, they keep it. If they lose, they owe you the equivalent amount. First shot, they stand the standard distance away. Second shot, they take a large step forward. Third shot, they take 2 large steps backwards. Sounds easy, but most will fail miserably. My favorite is to bet a friend at the bar $5 that I can drink their drink without touching their glass in any way. They'll almost always take the bet, pound the drink normally, and hand them $5. Most drinks at the bar around here are $12. Chuckle for a moment, and by the next round everyone has a laugh and learns a harmless new trick. When they are angry with you, simply say, "You seem upset. What's the matter?" Then smile. If that doesn't work, punch them in the throat. The old disarming smile followed by throat punch. Gets them every time. Prolonged smiles. It stops people dead in their tracks. I personally love to do it when someone's chatting crap. You gaze directly into their eyes so they lock theirs on you in return and then plaster a ginormous grin on your face. Sometimes it directly gives the message you're unimpressed and they stop. If they don't, you continue to maintain eye contact and smile the exact same way. They'll become increasingly uncomfortable and lose their train of thought. It's also good to use at random times. Sometimes I'll just smile for a long time at my friends and you're able to see them physically writhe in discomfort at it. Smiling in such a way gives people a massive sense of insecurity, no matter who you are, because you feel the spotlight has unexpectedly been turned on you and you don't know why. That's pure evil. I'm impressed. So my fiancé is from the south and I am from the north and went to a Catholic school that absolutely drilled proper grammar into my mind for all time. My fiancé and her twin loved to joke about my accent, so I flipped it on them and asked them to pronounce completely mundane words like table, cloth, or dog and make a huge fuss about how they were saying things wrong. At first they didn't think I was serious, but after about a week I overheard them trying to pronounce those words to each other and figure out how they are saying it wrong. They even asked Google how to pronounce the words properly. After about a month I told them I was kidding because they were getting deeply concerned with how they speak and they both work in jobs where they routinely interact socially with a lot of people. Tell your family you're going to get cigarettes and then never come back. Psychologically frickin' good. Good one, Dad. You have been visited by the side quest cat. It only appears every 200 years. You will be granted many adventures, but only if you comment I am coming. Kitter. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.